of them.
That sound crazy. Sorry, go back to your room now. That now's not the time. Go to your room.
What? Turn the camera on.
All right. So Shalom Israel. Make sure we got everything set up here. We're gonna have a class today pertaining to Wednesday law. Okay, Most High in Christ. So we got everybody checking in. Let's see. All right. So we are the ISUPK. We started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commandant General Yohana, established in 1969. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We teach the truth according to the Bible that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. The Bible is our identity. It entails our identity. It entails our history, our heritage, our customs, our culture, so on and so forth. Everything that you need to know about a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian is in that Bible, man. All right? And today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Something that's very near and dear, that's a part of our daily living. You understand? Our daily living, our way of life, and what the true beauty of what the Most High made blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be able to hold, right? And that's those laws, all right? Those laws is what sets us apart from all the nations on the earth, all right? Those laws is what makes us, you understand, in the image of the Most High. You understand? We have morals, reputation, guidelines, structure. You understand? Things that these other nations don't have.
Right.
All right? Because look at the Chinese. The Chinese, they'll eat anything they can catch. All right? But the Lord gave us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, he gave us dietary laws. Okay. What to eat, what not to eat. That way we don't have to be the ones dying of coronavirus. That way we don't have to be the ones getting all the Ebola and all of the germs and parasites and everything else. Because we eat what the Lord told us to eat, the things that are healthy, the things that are good or kosher or, you know what I mean, or fruitful, or however you want to call it. All right? Then we have laws that govern brotherhood. How to deal with your brother, how to deal with your sister. Even if that sister or that brother is your husband or your wife. You know what I mean? That's what the laws is for. So while these other nations are cutting their woman's clitoris off, you understand? And you know what I mean? And these men are, whoring out their wives in Afghanistan, wherever they at, they doing all of these things, you know what I mean? Having threesomes and, all kind of sexual deviancies, homosexuality and everything else. The Most High gave us laws of marriage. You understand? Meaning between a man and a woman, what you can do and what you can't do, what you should do and what you should not do. You understand how to deal with your sister, how to deal with your brother, your husband, your wife. So all in all, you understand, those laws are something that is given to us so we are able to be, righteous. So we're able to be fruitful, be healthy, to be prosperous in all things, all right? So we're going to get into it, you know what I mean? Just a little backdrop, but these laws been around since Adam, okay? People think that because Moses had to, spoke to the Most High and he put the commandments down, that was when the law was first written. Before the law was word of mouth. All right? When Adam had it, the Lord gave him the laws. He had it. It just wasn't written down. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me get 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11. 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11. Understand, Adam had the laws, and we're going to show and prove it, and the importance of these laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay? It's important. You know what I mean? Just think about if there was no laws. You understand? Like, think about all of the crimes that are going to happen. You understand? When there's no laws. Think about all of the deviancies and all of the lustful, the lust. What's the word I'm looking for? The lust, like people that's just going to be driven by lust and the things that they're going to do, rape. You know what I mean? Rape and molest kids and, you know what I mean? Like those type of things. if there's no laws. All right, it's going to be like the purge. And the crazy thing is that, you know what I mean, like the Christian church teaches brothers and sisters how to be lawless. How to be lawless. Because what does the Christian pastor teach? That the laws is done away with. The laws is done away with. So what does that mean if the laws is done away with? That means it's okay for a man to rape a woman. If the laws is done away with. They don't understand the nature of those laws, and they definitely don't understand the Bible altogether. Let me get that, brother. I ain't even gonna talk no more. I'm gonna let these scriptures talk.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
For their sakes I made the world. Like when he says for their sakes, he's talking about the nation of Israel. Okay? The Bible is very, very, very specific of who it's speaking to.
Right.
All right. And if you don't understand the nature of the Bible, then you'll be confused, thinking the Bible contradicts itself, thinking that the Bible is mythical and all of these other things. But just like any other brother or sister today speaks, that's how the Bible is written. Okay. So at the end of the day, when we read the Bible, we know that these things are talking about specific people, and more importantly, the people of Israel, and the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay. Go ahead and read that from the top, brother.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
I made the world. Like, the thing is that the Lord chose Adam to be different from everybody else that was wild. You understand? He took Adam from being a wild man, from being amongst everybody else and equal to, in a way, and separated him. Chose him, separated him, and he gave him something that was beautiful. He gave him order. He gave him structure. You know what I mean? Like, without order and structure, it's just a wilderness. It's chaos. It's out of control, man. You know what I mean? And who can survive in like that? You know what I mean? Who can survive like that? All right. So go ahead. So he said he said for their sakes he gave the world. Like, you know what I mean? Not only did he choose Adam, okay, but he gave him dominion over all the land. He gave him dominion over all the earth, over all the animals, the fowls of the air, the beasts in the field, the fish in the sea, right? He gave him dominion over all of those things. All right, so let me get something right quick. Read that from the top.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world.
Go ahead.
And when Adam
when Adam did what?
Transgressive.
When Adam did what?
Transgressive.
Okay, so what does transgressive mean? What does transgressive mean? Like, we're trying to dig into these laws and these commandments, because the one thing that people I don't see the book. I don't see that book. All right, so brother, that's in the Apocrypha. All right, brother, that's in the Apocrypha. You got to have the Apocrypha in order to see that. That's in the Apocrypha. You can't just have a regular King James. You got to have the original King James Bible. All right, the original King James Bible includes the Apocrypha. If you have just a regular King James, then you can always buy the Apocrypha separate. You can get it from like Amazon.com. I think they're like $7 on there. You know what I mean? But you need the Apocrypha. That is a part of the Bible that was taken out by the Roman Catholic Church. You got something you want to say, brother?
I got the definition of the word transgressive.
Go ahead, give me the read it again. Go ahead and read the definition of transgressive for me.
The definition of the word transgressive.
Go ahead.
An act that goes against a law.
A what?
An act that goes against a law.
An act that goes against a law. So guess what? In order for Adam to transgress, there had to be a law for him to go against.
Right.
All right? There had to be a law for him to go against. So what does that mean? Adam had the laws. Nobody knows that because they don't understand the Bible. When was Adam given the laws? What did it say when he was given? What did it say that represented him getting the laws? Somebody answer that question for me. In the Bible, when at what point what was said that showed you that Adam was given the laws? What was it called? What's the terminology that was used that showed that Adam was given the laws? And when you understand this and you answer that, this question gets answered, then you'll understand what these terms mean later on in the Bible. All right? You'll understand those terms later on in the Bible and what they mean. This Bible ain't just some book that you can open and read and just be able to know what's being said.
Right.
You understand? Like a lot of brothers and sisters that are locked up in prison, they write letters to their people that's outside, right? And what do they? And who? When I send a brother a letter in prison, who's going to read that letter first? Go ahead.
It's like the guards.
The COs is going to read. They're going to read the letters first. Why are they going to read it? Because they want to make sure you ain't talking about selling no drugs. You ain't talking about conspiring to kill somebody. You ain't talking about something that's going, some criminal activity. Right? That's why the COs read it. They read it and then they give it to you.
Right.
So because of that, a lot of us who are in prison or who communicate with people in prison, we speak in metaphors. We speak in code. Right? So a lot of these things in this Bible are in metaphor and in code. What does it say? Okay, that brother Shar, get the brother Shar a hand, man. The brother Shar got it absolutely correct. You was about to answer it?
Sir.
What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say the breath of life.
That's correct, dog. You understand? Most High in Christ. When God gave, understand, what is that? What is that? Trail? When God gave the gift of life to him. Okay, yeah, that's correct. That breath, that first breath. Okay, so yeah, so sister getting it, she on it, but Shar got the correct terminology to the T. It's called the breath of life. The breath of life is the laws. That's what the laws is, the breath of life. When you give somebody the laws, you're giving them the breath of life. Because if I tell you if I tell you not to smoke weed, which is a law,
right?
What am I promoting? What am I promoting for you? I'm promoting life. Because not getting high is not going to destroy your health. Not smoking cigarettes is not going to destroy your health. All right? Not being a homosexual is going to help your health. You see what I'm saying? Like these things that the Lord gave us as law, statutes, and commandments are beneficial for our lives. So when he chose Adam and said he gave him the breath of life, he gave him the laws. He gave him the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right? But people think because of Moses, Moses was the first one to have it in writing. You understand? Okay? But let's read it again. Read it from the top. Let everybody know where you at.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
You understand? For their sakes I gave the world. Now, when you have to understand, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you understand, my people, that the Most High favors us. Right. He chose us. And if you can't tell, you're blind. Look at how special we are, man. You understand? Besides we on child support, besides we in the abortion clinics every week, besides we in the unemployment lines, besides the fact that we in poverty, we in the ghetto, and all of the terrible conditions that we're in, nobody can hold a candle, you understand, to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. They just did a verses on Instagram with Teddy Riley and Babyface. And I'm talking about this, the thing went down so hard that the damn IG shut down, man.
Good, nice.
Instagram shut down. And we're not going to, whatever you want to talk about, what you want to talk about? Sports? What you want to talk about? Music? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. We shut it down, man.
Yeah, right.
Them brothers didn't have the internet shut down because what? Because they went to school and they was educated. No, because they were very creative. They created music that was able to touch people's, souls, or that had people in their feelings. You know what I mean? Teddy Riley, Babyface, and everybody knows it.
Damn right.
But when we come together collectively, we able to show, show the world the power that we have. We're the greatest. The Lord chose us, and He said He made the world for our sake.
Nice.
You understand? He did that for us. When the Bible said the Most High is a man of war, it's because He's fighting for superiority. Fighting for us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, His children of Israel, to be superior, to rule this earth. Okay? Nobody complains when Esau rules the earth. Nobody complains.
Right.
You understand? The white man running the entire world right now.
Nice.
And they still talking about, and they still in our face talking about we all equal. Okay, well, no sweat. Well, let us run the world and we still be equal, okay?
Right.
Let us run the world then, all right? But the Lord intended for us to do that,
Damn right.
okay? And all we got to do is, what? Follow his law, statutes, and commandments. He gave us the breath of life.
Right.
He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. He told us how to live. You understand? All the way down from Adam, all the way down to John. You understand? John the Revelator. We all had it. Even all the way down to Commander General Yohana. Today, we have the laws for a reason. Anybody teaching that the laws is done away with is an extension of Satan.
Damn right.
You understand? And is an extension of Satan, man. Anybody who teaches that the laws is done away with, man. Hold on, what the sister said? They afraid of the oppressor, but not God. That's correct. You understand? That's the correct thing, man. Like, fear is why brothers and sisters break the laws today. Fear. Because they fear if I don't pay my rent, then I'm going to be out in the street. So because of that, I got to sell drugs. I got to sell drugs. I got to be a stripper. I got to go out here and get this money, because how else am I going to put food on the table? If I don't put food on the table, my family going to starve. So I gotta sell my box. I gotta strip. I gotta steal and rob and kill. I gotta do it. I gotta, what they say, mama need a house, baby needs some shoes.
Good night.
I gotta do it. But what happened? We break the laws because we in fear of what we're going to have to deal with. But what did Christ deal with? What did Christ deal with? Christ was in the streets, poor, a vagabond. That's what a vagabond is. Someone who was homeless, poor. Christ was a vagabond. A black man just like me and you, poor, on the run from the police, wanted for a warrant out for his arrest. It's in the Bible. The Most High, Christ had a warrant for his arrest, man. A lot of us Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Natives can relate to that.
Yeah, right.
I can't tell you how many times I done had a warrant and had to turn myself in. Or brothers that had a warrant and had to turn themselves in. Or brothers that had warrants, brothers and sisters that had warrants and wasn't trying to turn themselves in.
Right.
We was on the run. And it wasn't no tour. You know what I mean? So we got to understand, like, these laws are set up for us to be able to live. You understand? For us to be able to live, be healthy. You don't got to worry about no GMO. You ain't got to worry about 5G. You know what I mean? You don't got to worry about the coronavirus.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about none of those things. Police brutality. Because these laws are going to protect you from all of those things. All right? The only person that got to worry about punishment or judgment is those that's breaking the law. In the UPK, we become born again.
Damn right.
We taught these laws along with our identity, something that was never given to us anywhere else. And guess what? We ride in our cars and don't worry about no cop pulling us over. They pull us over, we're like, what you need? Oh, ID? All right, what you need? This and that? All right, I disagree, but I'm going to see you in court.
Damn right.
And we go to court and we'll fight it, and we'll win. Every time. I'm not worried about it. You understand? But when you out here doing everything, evil thing that is to do, you know what I mean? You can simply be eating pork, you understand? And have to suffer police brutality for eating pork. You understand? Because you're not protected. But let's get back to it, man. We want to get down to where these laws originated. That breath of life, what the brother just said, you understand? The breath of life. Go ahead and read that from the top one more time for me, Baba Shah.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11. Because for their sakes I made the world.
Go ahead.
And when Adam transgressed my statutes.
When Adam transgressed my statutes, Adam transgressed the laws, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Then was decreed that now is done.
Then was decreed now is done. So what did Adam transgress? So now that we know that the breath of life was what? The giving of the laws. What law did he transgress? What did he do? Go ahead.
It's like, sir, he listened to his rib instead of listening to the Most High.
True, but that is true. But that's not a law to not listen to your rib. You should not give your strength to your woman, sure, You know what I mean? Which is what Adam should have known.
Constant.
Then he wouldn't have had to been, following after his woman and to transgress. But that wasn't what he did. That was the cause. That was like the leading or the root of what led him to, you understand, to commit a sin or transgress the law. But what did he do? What did they do?
Like, sir, we wouldn't be to worship another God, would it?
I mean, I could take that as an answer. Because if you're not following law, statutes, and commandments, then you're following after somebody else or some other God. Period. You know what I mean? To some extent, like the things that we do. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but nonetheless, we know that our God, you understand, the Most High is a living God.
Damn right.
He's a living being who is a black man, you understand? Like the Bible describes him to be. But these other nations, they take something like pork and make it their God. They take rocks and make it their God. They take women and make them their God. An animal, a lion, and make that their God. So when we follow all of these things, like marijuana, for example, you might as well say that's the God of the Rastafarians, because they know more about getting high than being righteous. Than taking care of their wife or taking care of their husband, than loving their brother. They know more about getting high than loving their own brothers and sisters. So when we decide to go smoke weed, we've making weed our God. You understand? So that is true, but it's a very vast answer. But nonetheless, Adam and Eve, they went and followed the nations. They went and followed the heathen nations. And what does the law say? Go not into the way of the heathens. Right? Go not into the way of the heathens and choose none of their ways. Okay? So when the Lord told them to eat of the tree of life and not of the tree of knowledge and good and evil, he was telling them to follow my law, statutes, and commandments, or else you have to suffer judgment. You understand? Suffer judgment. Because all of those other nations was doing the exact opposite of the thing that God set forth for us to do. When God, the Most High, was giving Adam the laws and commandments, he said, don't eat. Don't eat. This is the only fowls of the air you can eat. And while he was doing that, while he was giving us that, and we were following that, what were the Moabites doing? They were eating bats. Those were the fowls of the air that they were eating, bats. You understand? Eagles and whatever else they can catch, like some crazy animals. You know what I mean? That you wouldn't even look at as food. And for a long time, you understand, just to make it clear, people look at the Moabites, who are the so-called Chinese people, as like, oh, look how nasty they are. Oh my God, they're so nasty. They're eating turtles. They're eating, what's them things called? Pangolin? What's the thing General Muhammad said? Pangolin? They eat pangolins, bats, iguanas, and geckos, and cats and dogs, and we like, oh my God, look at him. You want to say something about?
So like, I was listening to more about the day. He was like, he doing a little tours around the world, and he said, I know people always say, why do Asian people like to eat blood? He said, but we love to eat blood.
Who said that?
Some Moabite. Some look. Said he loved it. He was eating duck, the collaborated duck blood. He had it in the soup.
Where it looked like it's like Jello basically. But Sis said he let his wife become his God. That's why he followed over God. Okay, you know what I mean? You kind of on it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a Cartrell. That's a brother. Cartrell, yeah. So like we just said, like they in general went and indulged in what the other nations was doing. Basically everything that the Most High said not to do. All of these nations are before the Most High. And when the Bible says that this person or this nation is before the Most High, When he uses that terminology, it means that they're against the Most High.
Constant.
So when it says Nimrod was mighty and he was before the Lord, that means he was against the Lord. You understand? Nimrod was against the Lord. All these other nations are before the Lord. They're against the Most High. So if the Most High said pork is lawful, they'll make it a delicatessen. They'll say pork is the best thing ever. But Bible says we should have marriages between a man and a woman. They say, well, it's you can't put a title on love.
Good night.
You love. That's why you can't control who you love. That's why we regurgitate them things today. That's what we regurgitate today. You can't love who you want to love, or let them love who they want to love, as long as they loving them over there. Or we can love who we want to love. Like, love don't have an age.
Good night.
Love don't have a sex. Love don't have a color. Love don't know color. We regurgitate them things because that's what the other nations promote. You understand? Because they are totally against the Most High. But the Lord told Adam not to be a homosexual.
Right.
He told him that. You understand? Why? Because that is a law. Right? How do we know? Because he was given the breath of life. All right? Go ahead.
Kind.
Read it from the top.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed with my statutes, then was decreed that now is done.
Okay. Then was decreed that now is done, man. Give me 1 second. Let me share this video with somebody right quick. Then was decreed now. Is there any more on that?
Sir, that's saying in verse 11.
Okay. Now drop that if you could. Let me see. If anybody has any questions online, feel free to ask. Okay, drop that, brother. Let me get Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. The brother Shar and Kentrell answered the question right in the chat room. In the chat, the breath of life. Now we're gonna get more into the breath of life, because that's an important thing. You understand that breath of life. So again, like, I can't stress it enough. Like, this Bible is not just written plainly. We're black people, Hispanics and Native Indians for one. We already speak. We already speak slang and ebonics, however you want to call it, already. We do that. These people in this Bible are our ancestors, and they spoke the same way. But not only that, but we also went into further coding, because we were trying to what? Get these messages across to our people, knowing that they were going to be intercepted by heathens.
Right.
All right? And what was the greatest interception of all time? It wasn't no NFL game. You know what I'm saying? But you understand? Go ahead.
So it was Eve listening.
I'm talking about just now in today's time. The greatest interception of a message. The message between a black man from black people to other black people that was intercepted. It's right. You right on it. Just think general. Just think today. Maybe I'm just thinking about it, and it's just easy for me to think about it.
So would it be us loving everybody?
So what I'm saying is, like Paul, for example. Paul was in jail, right? Paul, the apostle, was in jail, and he was writing letters to the Israelites that were scattered abroad. But because he knew that the law people, the COs and stuff like that, was going to read his messages, he put it in code. So where can we read Paul's messages now today? Where can we read what Paul wrote today?
Go in.
It would be in the Bible, though.
That's correct. All right. So now, that's where we going. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. So Paul had to decipher messages at the time he was in prison to send them to Israelites a black man
Con.
send a message to the other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians,
Constant.
coding it so that because he knows it's going to get intercepted. So today is what I'm asking is, what, you just answered it already,
Con.
but what is the ultimate interception of all time? The ultimate message that was taken by heathens.
Oh, slide, sir. Would it be our nationality? I want like
The Bible in general. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to think like these. You know what I mean? Them like Paul and them didn't have a Bible. You know what I mean? They was just literally writing letters and books. You know what I mean? Like they was basically like books, writing letters to Corinth. You know what I mean? Writing letters to Rome. You know, writing letters to Galatians. You know what I mean? But you know, longer story short, those letters today are the Bible. But the Bible is still for us today. Those letters are still for us today. But guess what? It was intercepted. Our oppressor, being who? Esau, being the white man, has taken the Bible, right? Our messages that was for us. You understand? And he done went through it. And instead of him going through it and say, I can't understand this like any other CEO would do.
Right.
I can't understand this. Doesn't look like nothing wrong here, and just giving it to us. Instead, they took it. You understand? That's correct. The brother said, Shar said, our Bible. You understand? They took it and they used it against us.
Right.
They misinterpreted it. They manipulated. You know what I mean? They even took scriptures out and created a whole new Bible, which is called a slave Bible.
Good. Nice.
All right, which is certain scriptures that will promote enslavement, promote oppression, promote, you know what I mean, slavery. You know what I mean? That was the slave Bible was called. The brothers brought it out in the lecture they did, the Revolution versus Christianity.
Nice.
They brought that out, but that was the greatest interception. You understand? Like that's not just Paul letters that he wrote to the Israelites, but that's the history, our history all together. Adam, you understand? Adam down to Noah, down to Abraham, down to Shem, down to, you understand, down to Isaac,
right,
down to Jacob, down to the 12 tribes, down to Christ, so on and so forth. Everything. And they took it. And they didn't understand it. They don't understand it to this day. They don't know what the Bible talks. They don't know what the breath of life is. They still thinking the Bible talking about talking snakes. They still think it's talking snakes in the Bible. They still think it's 7-headed dragons and talked about in the Bible. Literal 7-headed dragons with 10 horns. They still think that's what it is.
Right.
They still think that when the Bible says, "For God so loved the world," that it's talking about everybody. But you know what? We know the truth in the UPK because the Lord has given us the spirit, man.
Damn right.
To understand that since 1969. And we've been interpreting this Bible the right way since 1969.
Damn right.
Giving the truth according to the Bible since 1969. Teaching the laws, the commandments, the heritage, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Constant.
All right? So now we getting, like I said, we got to go back now. We all the way back to Adam. Because now in today's time, they saying what? That the laws is done away with. This Bible is so misinterpreted. It's out of control. You got everybody saying they Christians, but every Christian believe a different thing.
Right.
Ain't none of them align with what's really real in the Bible. None of them. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's why we have so many different religions.
Right. That's why we have so many denominations and got Baptists and Jehovah's Witness and that witness and his witness. You know what I mean? And Pentecostal. St. Lucian and, you know what I mean, Creflo and, you know what I mean, what's the other nigga name? Goddamn, TD Snakes, you know what I mean? You know, it's just, you know, they, it's all different. It's just, it's too much. So, we've gone from having the laws to, you know, the laws is done away with. How can that be so? So we're going to go back to the beginning. You understand? We're going to go back to the beginning. Start with Adam. And I'm about to speed through it right now. Let me, did I give you another scripture to get to?
Come on, so you told me to get
Yeah,
Genesis.
let me get that. Let's get it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7.
Good.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
The Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. What does that mean? I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but that means that Adam was chosen from amongst everyone, because the dust of the ground is representation of a low state.
Right.
Of a low state. Like, you ever hear rappers or brothers say, "I got it out the mud." I got it out the mud. You know what I mean? They came from a low state, basically. What they saying. Which, like I said, this is how we talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? They say he's brought him from out the dust of the ground. He got him out the mud.
It's like started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we here. He didn't escalate physically.
Right.
He talking about his status.
Damn right.
I started from the bottom, now I'm here. Not physically, but it's talking about his status. You understand? Like, when he said, "I got it out the mud," he started at a low status, and now he up here. He got another status now. Same thing with Adam. You understand? Adam was pulled from a low state. You understand? He was given status. What status was he given? Dominion over the whole entire earth.
Right.
He created man from the dust.
Damn right.
Gave him the dominion over the land, the water, the trees, the animals, the fish, the birds, so on and so forth. The land of milk and honey.
Damn right. Kind. And breatheth into his nostrils.
And did what?
And breatheth into his nostrils.
Now, this was already a man already. This is already a living being. Like, the Lord already went through the creation story already.
Right.
The creation story is already done with by this point. They created them already. He created mankind. He created everything. Then he created the bird, the earth, the fermentation, the firmament, right? And then he rested.
Right.
And then he said he gave the dust. He pulled man from the dust of the ground and gave breath into his nostrils. Not meaning literal breath, meaning he caused him to live, like live physically.
Right.
He didn't cause him to live physically. It was something that was spiritual that happened right there. You understand? It was something physical that happened right there. Go ahead.
Kind. And
so read from the top, Baba Kushai.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. Mm-hmm. And the Lord Yahweh formed man of the dust of the ground.
The Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. Go ahead. Brought it from a low state, from just like everybody else. So, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today, you don't understand, when you choose to reject God's laws, you just make yourself like everybody else.
Right.
You ain't nothing special about you. Everybody getting high. Everybody eating pork. Everybody smoking cigarettes. Everybody interracially marrying. Everybody eating pork. You understand? Everybody celebrating Christmas. What are you doing that's different? Right. You in a low state like everybody else. Nothing special about you. But Lord gave him what? Brought him from the dust of the ground where everybody was doing all of those things. Go ahead.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. You understand? Meaning he gave him laws, statutes, and commandments that were opposite of what everybody else was doing.
Right.
He gave him laws that said, don't eat this.
Right.
Don't sleep with these people. Don't drink this. Don't dress this way. Don't treat your brother like this. Don't treat your sister like this. Don't treat your husband this way.
Right.
Don't treat your wife this way. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do. And guess what? Just like any father that sets rules for their child,
right.
It's because they're trying to protect them. It's because they love them and they're trying to protect them and make sure that they live and are healthy and everything else. And that's the same thing what the Lord gave him when he did right just then and there.
Right.
He gave him the breath of life, breathed the breath of life into his nostrils. He gave him the law so that he can live, so he can be different.
Damn right.
So you don't have to eat backs with everybody else and get coronavirus. So you don't have to eat pork with everybody else and get high blood pressure and die from heart disease. So you don't have to be homosexual and get AIDS, you understand, with everybody else. So you don't have to smoke cigarettes and tobacco, all the tobacco products, and get cancer like everybody else. I'm giving you these laws so you can be better, so you can live. This is the breath of life. Go ahead.
And breatheth into his nostrils the breath of life.
Go ahead.
And man became a living soul.
And man became a living soul, man. You understand? A living soul. You understand? That's why I said it's spiritual. What just happened just now? It's not something physical. It's something spiritual. He gave him laws. He went from being a man that just does what he want to do or whatever he can, whatever you want to eat, whoever you want to sleep with, stick his rod in the goat, whatever you want to do, like, to now you're going to only stick your rod in this.
Yeah, right.
And when you do, that's your wife for life. And this is how you should treat your wife.
Right.
This is how your wife should treat you. He gave him order and structure, man. Order and decency, and it's such a beautiful thing, man. You understand? I like to liken these laws and commandments unto bougie. You see what I'm saying? I like to liken it unto bougie. Because when we go into a store, everybody going in. Let me get number 2 say fish dinner. Yeah, let me get the fish dinner. Right? Everybody get it. Everybody like fish. It's fish, right?
Right.
Not for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Not for those who fear the Lord. Not for those who love the Lord. Because when we go in there, we like, hey, number 3, the fish. What kind of fish is it?
Right.
Is it fins and scales? Nah, I'm good. I don't want it. That's bougie. It's like, damn, nigga, it's fish. Nigga, get it. It's fish. Nah, I only eat a certain kind of fish. See what I'm saying? I only eat a certain kind of fish. I don't just eat any fish.
Right.
I don't just eat any animal.
Right.
I just gotta have a certain kind of animal. That's bougie, man. Black people are the salt of the earth.
Damn right.
We special. We just can do that. That's what we supposed to. That's how it's supposed to be. You understand? When they say, "Oh, we got the sausage dog with the fries on the side," we're like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, sausage dog. Let me get that." But what we doing? What we doing, Bond?
Is it pork in it?
Is that pork sausage? Or is that beef? What is it?
Right.
Oh, it's beef sausage. Okay, are we done there? No, we ain't done there. Cause what else we gotta know?
Like, what is it made with? Like, what's the casing made?
There you go. Those are incredible. Is it in a pork casing?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's the casing? Is it collagen? Is it pork? Is it a lamb case? We gotta know all of that. Cause we don't just eat any and everything, man. We gotta be bougie. You know what I mean? So the Lord took this man from a low state and made him bougie. He made a bougie man now. This man out here, everybody would just eat whatever they want to eat. Now this one man has been given the breath of life, and now he the only one out there looking at the ingredients. All right, let me see. Yeah, I can't eat that. You know what I mean? Nah, I can't eat that. Let me see. Holding the bird up. Nah, that's a bat. I can't eat that. You know what I mean? Holding the fowl up. That's a bat. You know what I mean? So he became a living soul. Any more on that? Drop that. Is any more on that? Let me Ezekiel chapter 37 verse 5. You understand? We about to show you right now, man. It's a beautiful thing to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, man.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing, man. You see these girls on the Instagram, these guys, and they all working out, and they all got their bodies right and everything else, and they don't got no legit workout plan, no legit diet.
Right.
In reality, what they need to be doing is what the Bible says.
Right.
You look at them like, damn, like they bougie, man. They only eat 2 times a day. They only eat 1 meal a day. They only eat certain juices, drink certain juice. But they not going according to no dietary laws.
Right.
So that 1 meal a day might be a pork sandwich. You know what I mean? That 1 meal a day might be what they call sushi, right? But sushi can be octopus, it can be crab, it can be shrimp sushi, you know what I mean? Which is light, but at the same time it's unlawful. But us, being those who follow the law, statutes, and commandments that was given since Adam, we don't eat those things. We are more bougie than even the bougie brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Because just alone, if you eat what the Lord says to eat, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. You know, you'll be all right. You understand? You'll be all right. Don't matter if it's genetically modified. It don't even matter. Because no matter if they took a damn potato and mixed it with a damn tomato. You know what I mean? It's still good. You know what I mean? It's still good. You know what I mean? We're going to eat a potato. A tomato. We're going to eat a tomato today, goddammit. Real talk. Go ahead.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, Verse 5.
Good.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones.
Unto these what?
Unto these bones.
Now, is he literally talking to literal a skeleton? No, that's what I'm saying. He's not talking to a literal skeleton. So this is how this is, like I said, this further shows that when he's talking about the breath of life, it's not talking about actual life. It's not talking about something physical, something that's, causing you to live. You know what I mean? Like a heartbeat and breath. Go ahead.
Kind. Behold, I will cause breath.
I will cause what?
I will cause breath.
Okay, read it from the top one more time.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh
Go ahead.
unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you.
So he gonna cause breath to enter into the bones? See what I'm saying? That don't even sound right.
Right.
That don't even sound right. I'm gonna cause breath to enter into these bones. So this is like, you want to say something?
It's like I was just saying, it's a metaphor. I don't want.
Right. It's a metaphor. It's absolutely a metaphor. He will cause breath to go into these dry bones, into these bones. Go ahead.
Kind. I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
You shall live. Okay. Now, this is what you have to understand. The Bible ain't no spooky, spooky fictional sci-fi book. This ain't no story of some hobbits and you know what I mean, and warlords and not warlords, what they call them things, warlogs or something. Warlocks, right? Warlocks and stuff like that. This is about regular people, regular human beings that already are living. The Lord is talking to a specific human being, specific people, meaning the Israelites, calling them dry bones. Why is he calling them dry bones? Because even though they are alive, they're still dead. They're dead spiritually. They're spiritually dead. All right? Like how many people that you see are today that are alive, right? But they're struggling and they're beat down,
right? And
they crying and they getting high off of crack. You understand? Smoking crack and smoking, and drunk out of their minds and contemplating suicide. Like they are dead. You understand? They are dead. They're not living. They're alive, but they're not living. Go ahead.
Like, sir, and it's like it's amazing that you say that, Aaron, because they even say that when you have certain people that be on drugs, they're like, look at these zombies out here.
Right, call them zombies. When zombies are the walking dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even so, like you got to think about all of the things that we do, like zombies. Like when we line up for Jordans and we stand in the line for Jordans all the way around the corner. To spend our last little $200. Know we got rent to pay. Know the baby need diapers. But we dead, man.
Right.
We dead. We not living. We out here suffering. We sinning, transgressing the law, suffering, man. All right. So he said he gave him life because dry bones means that this person is spiritually dead, spiritually. Okay, but he gave him the breath of life. Meaning he gave him laws. To what? So they can become a living soul. So they can be able to be righteous. Because what comes with following those laws and statutes, commandments? Life. You avoid death. It's the law. It's the moral of the whole story. You avoid death. Okay? Because what does the Bible says the wages of sin are? The wages of sin are death. Go ahead.
That was it on that one. I don't want 6.
Yep, go to 6.
Okay. Verse 6. And I will lay sinews upon you.
I will lay what?
Sinews upon you.
I will lay sinews upon you. And sinews, we still in the metaphor now. You know what I mean? Sinews. Sinews is what connects the bones and attaches to your bones, connects your bones together. So then now he's giving metaphors to show how these laws are going to take you from that low state,
right? And
you're going to gradually become whole, increase your status in life. You understand? And living. You're going to put sinews upon you. Go ahead.
It will bring up flesh upon you.
And then after the sinews, then you're going to come flesh. You see what I'm saying?
Conscious.
Flesh is, we're not talking about constructing the man has already been created.
Right.
We're talking about metaphors right now. The breath of life being the laws, and the laws are going to cause you to become what? A better brother to your brothers, a better husband to your wife, a better wife to your husbands, a better sister to your brothers. Yeshaya, move away. You understand? All of those things is going to help you what? Fight that drug addiction.
Right.
And you're going to fight that drug addiction. Now you're going to be able to become what? A part of your family now. Because them drugs are taking you a part of your family. You were stealing. Now you don't have to steal no more. Now you can actually be home. Now you actually, solve those issues that you have with your family.
Right.
And guess what? Like, these are the different levels, man. These things, your life is going to start to become more in order. You're going to get sinews. You're going to become, now you're going to have flesh. Go ahead.
And will bring flesh upon you.
Go ahead.
And cover you with skin.
Then the skin, that top layer. And skin, man. You're going to become whole again. Like, so many brothers and sisters don't understand how far off they are.
Right.
How far off they are. Don't matter how banging your body is. Don't matter how much your credit score is. How much money you make. Don't matter how many women you got. How many men you got. Don't matter. You can be so far off that you are near death. You don't even know it. Healthy as can be, and you'll be ready. And the Lord will be prepared to authorize you for death.
Right.
Because you're not following His law, statutes, commandments. Because you want to be a lesbian. Because you want to be a homosexual. Because you want to buy strippers and buy at the strip club, promoting strippers. Because you want to get high, smoke weed. They say weed ain't ever killed nobody. But listen, weed has killed millions of people, millions. Because any weed, anybody that smoked weed that is dead today, the Lord probably killed them for being a weed head. He probably died for being a weed head because the Lord killed him. All right. Now they got this coronavirus, and what they're saying, just occasional smoking of weed can make you more susceptible to coronavirus. It's changing everything, man. You understand? Like, you're gonna come back to a more pure way of living.
Right.
More than what the government of America and their laws can cause you to be. You understand? Something greater than that. Because guess what? The laws of the land say you can be a homosexual. The laws of the land don't govern marriage according to what God say. Sex is just sex according to the government of the law of the land, right? Sex is just sex. You can have sex all day. It's not a crime. You can do sex when you want to have sex with. It's not a crime. But it is in the Bible.
Right.
It's called adultery. It's called fornication. You understand? And you will die behind those things.
Damn right.
Doesn't matter if it's by AIDS or some husband killing you because you had sex with his wife. Go ahead.
And cover you with skin.
Hold on, let me see. So even when you say the wages of sin is death, they still don't know because of the way they've been taught. They think they won't die not knowing the truth. Okay, yeah, that's what the brother's bringing out is heavy. Like, you don't have to know the truth to be subject to the laws. You don't have to know the laws to be subject to the laws.
Right.
Right now, think about it. I don't per se myself know the gun laws for South Carolina. You understand? Now I can go out right now with a pistol, and it'd probably be lawful for me to carry a pistol, right? Or I can go out with an AK, and it'd probably be lawful for me to carry an AK out in public.
Right.
But then again, it might not be lawful. But if I go out there with a AK and it's not lawful, are they going to say, oh, no, yeah, this is the law. Nah, you didn't know, so it's all right. Go ahead. Hell no. They're going to probably get the weapon, put your hands where I can see it. Put your hands where no, don't. And as soon as I reach to put my hands where they can see them, they're going to shoot me.
Right.
Because even though I'm ignorant to the law, I'm still subject to the law.
Right.
I still need, just because I don't know the law don't mean the law don't exist. Don't mean that it ain't enforced. You understand? Brothers and sisters find that out every day. when they out in the streets doing certain things, and then they get knocked for it. And they're like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was not lawful. I didn't know that carried a double felony. I didn't know that carried a 20-year sentence. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that, but you're still going to serve that 20 years.
Right.
All right? So, yeah, brothers can be ignorant to the law, but you're still subject to the law. Okay? So, let me go ahead and get what you got. So, now we're talking about what's going to happen when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You're going to begin to become whole again. You're going to get the sinews and the flesh and the skin on top of the flesh, meaning your life is going to become more in order.
God.
You're going to become more healthier, more in order. You understand? It's going to be more of a beautiful life. You're going to be actually begin to live for once, correct?
And put breath in you.
Mm-hmm. And put breath in you again. You understand? That's the law. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Put that breath in you. This is completion of it all. You know, brothers that are have weed addictions. You understand? Or think about brothers that smoke cigarettes. Like they out here hurting.
Right.
They hurting. They check out chest pains. Next thing you know, they gotta go to the doctor, the dialysis, and everything else. And that got to be a part of your daily, weekly routine now. Well, you could have been, had them sinews and had that flesh and had that skin, which could have been, representation of time you could have been having, not in dialysis, but spending time with your family. The time that you don't have to spend in the trap house all day, but being home raising your kids.
Right.
You understand? Actually enjoying the things that are great in life. You know what I mean? Breathing that fresh air and being able to take full breath instead of having shortening the breath, and you damn near about to die every day, all day. You can't hardly breathe. Like, you have to get away from those things, man. You'll become, better again. You'll become whole again. All right. Any more on that?
Constant.
Mm-hmm.
And put breath in you,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall live,
Mm-hmm.
and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
You understand? That's what I'm saying. Like, when you come into the ISUBK, just to bring it all the way around for y'all. When you come into the ISUBK, guess what happens? You begin to what? Get raised up. Right? When you first come into the truth, you come in here, you've been doing everything that everybody else doing. Then you begin to learn. You understand? You begin to get taught, right? Being taught is beginning to what? Raise you up. Now you're beginning to live now.
Right.
Being taught. You understand? That breath is causing you to live. That teaching, that tutelage is calling you to make sacrifices. Causing you to make compromise. Compromise your own lust.
Right.
You understand? Compromise your own need, your own wants, and the things that you think you need. Fighting those drug addictions. Fighting that homosexuality, that demon. Fighting those things, learning and being taught is going to help raise you up and cause you to live. Okay? That's what the breath of life is. That's what's being given here in the UPK under Commander Johnny Hana, man.
Damn right.
Every lesson that's being taught in this school, no matter if it's pertaining to law and the many breakdowns that come with that, or it's pertaining to brotherhood and the many breakdowns that come with that, or pertaining to language, the Lashawan Kodash and the many lessons that come with that. Everything that's being taught here is a piece of making you live again. It's a piece of that breath of life that's causing you to live, from getting your identity back, learning that you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, learning that you do have laws, statutes, and commandments, learning that the Most High doesn't love everybody, learning that you understand that we shouldn't live a certain way. All right. Let me drop that. Let's get on to it. Let me get Baruch. Chapter 4, verse 1.
Come.
Yes.
I'm about to rush through this because we got about 20 minutes and I want to get these scriptures out. Okay? This is the breath of life, man. These scriptures is the breath of life. Go ahead, let me get it when you got it.
Come. Got Baruch in there.
That's correct. Chapter 4, verse 1.
Come.
All right, these laws and these statutes, commandments even when it comes down to the counseling, you understand the counseling that's given by these wise counselors in the UPK causes brothers to avoid being locked up, to avoid being drug addicts, to avoid being on child support,
Right.
to avoid getting AIDS. You know what I mean? Like this counsel is helping brothers to live, helping sisters to live. Get the counsel. Call and get the counsel. And I made a post on Facebook because I see a lot of brothers and sisters, and I done did it before in my time as a young man, as a trooper. Going, Facebook and trying to talk about my problems on Facebook.
Right.
But guess what I get? A whole slew of nobodies. A whole slew of everybody that want to entertain feelings, that that just gonna give me bad advice.
Right.
That everybody that the Lord is not with, has got something to say and some bad advice that's gonna end up having me kill myself, or get commit a sin, or something crazy. That's what it's gonna get. What you need to do is don't go to Facebook.
Right.
Don't go to Instagram. If you have a problem, if you're dealing with something, if you're truly dealing with something, you have a problem, call your camp leader. Call the UPK so we can provide a counselor for you so you can fight that depression. So you can fight that stress, that whatever you're going through. That affair. You understand? Your family affair. Family issues. The things that you're going through with your husband or your wife. Your couple counseling. The drug addictions. You feel like you're all alone. You're not alone. The UPK is here. We got a multitude of counselors who are here to counsel you. You go on to YouTube and make videos and blogs and statuses and everything else talking about, I gotta figure this out on my own. Oh my God, and it's just tough, and I've been by myself, and this depression and everything. We just gonna keep on scrolling. We're gonna keep on scrolling because obviously to us, you're just looking for attention. You're just looking for attention, and you're gonna get it.
Right.
You're gonna get it. But if you want saving, if you want great sound advice, if you want the cure, then you'll pick up the phone.
Right.
If you want brotherhood, then you'll pick up the phone. You'll call and you'll get wisdom. You'll pick up the phone. You'll get wisdom. You'll get that counsel that's going to help you maintain that breath of life.
Right.
You understand? Maintain those sinews. You understand? That flesh, that skin, that quality of life. You'll help you get there and maintain that with the counsel. All right. Stay off of Facebook, man.
Damn right.
Good.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Good.
This is the book of commandments of Yahweh.
This is the book of commandments of Yahweh. Go ahead.
And the law that endureth forever.
And the law that what?
Endureth forever.
Oh, but the laws is done away with.
And the law that endureth forever.
Yeah, but Christ died with the laws. The laws is done.
And the law that endureth forever.
This is the thing that you need to tell these Christian pastors. The law endured forever, man.
Right.
It was since Adam. Adam had him. You understand? Adam was the first man in the truth. His family was the first family in the truth. And they were given the laws. They were given the laws just like we given the laws right here in the UPK. And they were given the truth. And here we are today, still following those laws and statutes and commandments. Why is that a bond? Read it from the top.
Con.
Why are we still following laws, statutes, and commandments today, all the way since Adam?
This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh.
Good.
And the law that endureth forever.
That's why, because the commandments and the laws and the Most High statutes endure forever, man.
Right.
For life. Even Christ said, till heaven and earth pass. You understand? Till heaven and earth pass. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. Christ said, till heaven and earth pass, shall it no wise shall no, what does it say? No what does it say?
One jot, one tittle.
No, yeah, no jot, not one jot, no one tittle, not one tittle shall pass from the law. You understand? Like no law should be, every law should be fulfilled, until heaven and earth pass, meaning until the earth is destroyed and there ain't no more life, until heaven collapses in front of us and on top of us.
Right.
That the law endureth forever. Go ahead.
Kind of one kind. All they that keepeth it shall come to life.
All that keepeth this shall what?
Shall come to life.
She'll catch the Holy Ghost.
Shall come to life.
She'll jump, shout, and holler.
Shall come to life.
Shall roll on the ground.
Shall come to life.
Shall hustle on a bow tie. She coming in a Honda.
And shall come to
They
life.
shall come to life, man. That's the breath of life. That's what the breath of life is. Read that part again.
Kind of one kind.
And those,
Sir. And they that keep it
and they that keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, what?
shall come to life.
Shall come to life. So when the Most High gave Adam the breath of life, he gave him the law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what he gave him, the law, statutes, and commandments, so that he can come to life.
Right.
Those dry bones, those men and women who are dead, who are transgressing the law, he gave them the laws to be able to come to life. So they can have those sinews, so they can have that flesh, so they can have that skin, they have that breath in them.
Right.
So they can be able to live, so they can be a part of their family, so they can have healthy marriages, healthy families, a healthy nation, man.
Damn right.
Healthy communities. Brothers and sisters can't even come out into their own community without the fear of bullets, stray bullets just flying from some beef you ain't even got nothing to do with. And God knows the beef ain't over nothing but somebody stepped on my shoe. That's what happens when the law is absent.
Right.
You understand? There's no life. There's violence. There's disease. You understand? There's bloodshed. There's addictions. There's all of those things, man. There's fights. There's child supports. There's criminal domestic violence. There's rape. There's molestation. Read that part. Read that again, brother.
Kind of one. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Good.
This is the book of commandments of Yahweh,
Good.
and the law that endures forever.
Mm-hmm.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Good.
But such as leave it,
But such as leaveth, which all of us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have come to in these days.
right,
We've left those laws. We've become like the other nations. We've become among the heathens. We are sunken into the ground. These are all of what the Bible calls our religious leaders and calls the congregations of these leaders. We are among the heathens. We are sunken into the ground.
Right.
We are likened unto the heathen. We are Gentiles. You understand? Meaning we are Israelites who follow after heathens. For those who have left the law, go ahead. Read that again.
But such as leave it
But such as leave those laws and those commandments, go ahead.
shall die.
Shall what?
Shall die.
Shall what?
Shall
If
die.
you're a homosexual,
Shall
if
die.
you getting high,
Shall die.
smoking cigarettes,
Shall die.
you being a homosexual,
Shall die.
you eating pork,
Shall die.
shrimp, crab, and lobster,
Shall die.
interracial marriage,
Shall die.
celebrating Christmas,
Shall die.
Easter,
Shall
all
die.
of these holidays.
Shall
You
die.
in the Islam, you serving the Muslim mosque,
Shall
you
die.
in this Christian church, serving Caesar Borgia,
Shall die.
you're gonna die, man.
Right.
And every
Yeah,
other
right.
law that's in that Bible that you disobey, you will die.
Right.
You understand any more than that?
La
Drop that, give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
Come.
You understand? You shall die. And it is not in no laughing matter. If anybody ever needed a reason to serve the Lord or die.
Right.
That's a good reason, isn't it?
Come.
Serve the Lord or die. How important is your life? If it's not that important, so be it. But if you want to live, if you have a husband, you have a wife, you have children, you love to see their smile every day you wake up and see their progress when they grow up in life, follow the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what you do, man. You ever needed a reason to come into the truth?
Right.
Into the ISUPK? That's a good reason right there. So you can avoid death.
Right.
Avoid death. Avoid dying. Because that's what's happening all outside of the UPK.
Right.
Niggas is dying, man. Everywhere you look, they dying from something. Whether it's a heart disease, STDs, and every other disease there is.
Right.
Abortions, you understand? Gang violence, police brutality. You know what I mean? What else is there? Everything, man.
Constant.
Everything, man. You're dying. We're dying for every reason there is. Cancer, strokes, heart attacks. We're the ones that's dying from them heart attacks and strokes, man. We dying everywhere you look. Why do you think so? We just read it just now. Because they that depart from those, or they that reject them or depart from those laws, statutes, commandments, they shall surely die.
Right.
You needed a reason to come into the truth. Come into the truth to live. Come into the ISUPK to live. To avoid death. Don't come here because you're trying to get a man. Don't come here because you're trying to find a woman. Don't come here for that. Come here to live, to fear the Lord. Come here to fear the Lord. That's what you come here for. To fear the Lord, because he will kill you. Go ahead.
Come on. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15.
Go ahead.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good.
What?
So I have set before thee this day life and good.
Go ahead.
And death and evil.
Right there in front of you, man.
Right.
I sat it right in front of you. Here it is. What you want, the Benz or the Ferrari? You understand? Right? So we got it right here before you. What you want? Good in life, right? What is it? Life and good?
Constant.
And it says what?
And death and evil.
And death and evil. Because those things are synonymous to each other. Evil is synonymous to death.
Right.
You commit an evil, you're going to die.
Right.
But you do good and follow the law, statutes, commandments, you'll live. Alright? That's what the breath of life is. Following the law, statutes, commandments, giving you that breath, you will live. You do right by your Father in heaven, and you be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, and you will live. He put it right in front of you. It's right there. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you can't force a crown on somebody's head.
Damn right.
Some people just want to die. They just out of their mind. They just want to die. They just out of their mind. You understand? They just completely let those demons consume them. You know how many people I know who let that demon consume them? Who just like, well, nah, I just, you know what I mean? Sometimes, most of the time, they get to that certain level in life, and you try to tell them, man, you gotta put them cigarettes down, man.
Right.
They're like, man, I've been smoking cigarettes for 20 years. If it can be the death of me, oh well. They just live their life till they just old, and I mean, if I'm gonna die from cigarettes, I'm gonna die from cigarettes. No sweat, forget it. Or brothers that gang bang and they kill and steal and rob brothers and pimp sisters out, and they didn't know the lifestyle comes with jail time and burial, funeral services.
Right.
They like, no, I'm blood for life. Blood in, blood out.
Right.
That's what they say, ain't it, Bar? Blood in, blood out. They completely consumed and submitted to that demon. Some people just want to do it. But I'm going to tell you this, man. The Lord didn't give us a choice.
Damn right.
He didn't give us a choice. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what he gave us. You understand? And when he said that you should eat from the tree of life and not of the tree of good and evil,
right?
Even though it was right there in front of you, he told you what to do.
Damn right.
He told you what to do. He said, only eat of the tree of life. Don't eat of the tree of good and evil.
Right.
Though it's right in front of you, he didn't give you a choice.
Right.
You understand? He didn't give you a choice. Go ahead.
It's like, so Christians love to say that we have free will.
Right. Free will, pro-choice. You know what I mean? Pro-choice allows them to go abort their babies. You understand? Free will allows them to be homosexuals. You understand? Free will allows them to go and be pedophiles. Because love don't have an age. But guess what? Love has an age in the Bible. Love has a sex in the Bible. It's a man and a woman. You understand? Everything the Lord gave us, he gave it to us, man. He gave it to us. Even though everything was right there in front of our face. You understand? Even right now, the Chinese is right. We see them every day eating bats. I don't never see y'all go and pick up no bats nowhere.
Right.
I never see you choose to go eat bats. It's right here in front of your face. The Chinese is doing it. But guess what? Long ago, before pork was food, guess what? We didn't eat it.
Damn right.
And guess what? The white man, you understand, made it a delicatessen and was eating it in front of us, and on everywhere we looked, they was eating it. Just like wherever we looked, and white and Chinese people eating dogs and bats. And one day we decided to eat it too. And guess what? Now today you can't stop us from eating it.
Right.
And it ain't food. The Lord told us not to eat the swine. He said it. Any more on that?
Law, sir.
Give me Genesis chapter 7, verse 1.
Kind of what sir?
I'm going to end it on this last scripture.
I got it for you.
Good?
The book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
You understand? For thee have I seen righteous before me in these generations. You understand? Like, that's what the Lord always chose men. He always chose them pertaining to their righteousness.
Right.
Like when it came down to Noah, he said Noah was perfect in his generations. Then it came down to brothers like Abraham, and then Shem, and then brothers like Job, for instance. You know what I mean? Who was perfect in their generations.
Right.
Who had favor in the sight of the Lord.
Conscious.
That's because they were righteous.
Damn right.
Go ahead. They followed the law, statutes, commandments. Go ahead.
Kind of what kind. And Slack.
Which of course means that it's possible to be perfect.
Conscious.
It's possible to be perfect. See, perfection to y'all is having a nice butt. You know what I mean? Your butt got to be perfectly round. You got to be this height.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got to have this credit score. You got to have this. You know what I mean? This. You know what I mean? This amount of teeth, and they got to be this straight. That's not perfect.
Right.
Perfect, according to the Bible, is following the law, statutes, and commandments. Every single one. And these men that did it, they were perfect because they followed the law, statutes, and commandments, and it's possible.
Conscious.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Okay, we'll read it from the top again.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark.
Right. So Noah again was perfect in his generation. He said, "Come down to the ark." Go ahead.
Come what kind? For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
In this generation, right? Because even when you think about it today, my generation is what? Popping pills, drinking lean, homosexuals, wearing dresses. When the Bible says that a man should not wear that which pertains to a woman,
right?
But they wearing dresses, they wearing rompers, they doing all kind of cross dressing. They're doing everything. They homosexuals, bisexual, whatever they want to call it. You understand? My generation is out of whack. So for me and the bond and brothers that are part of this generation, and in truth, to be following the law, statutes, and commandments is a rare thing.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So Noah and his generation was rare. Like it wasn't a common thing. Like he was a man that was actually following all the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
While everybody else was getting high. But everybody else was drinking lean and popping Percocets and Mollies all day. Noah was following the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord said, "You get on the ark." Just like when it came down to Lot.
Right.
Understand? When he came to Sodom, when they came to Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels.
Conscious.
It said, "Lot, this is what you're gonna do. We're gonna protect you from the destruction that we're gonna bring to this place, because you were perfect, because you are righteous. You fear the Lord.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell you where to go to be safe while we destroy this place."
Conscious.
And it's the same thing today when you see this coronavirus, when you see AIDS, when you see heart attacks, strokes, gang violence, police brutality. That's the Lord's plagues to those who are not following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Anybody else is right here in the UPK, avoiding all of those things, every single thing. We're where the Lord wants us to be, or told us to be, and we're free from those things. Go ahead.
Damn right. Come down and all thy house into the ark.
Go ahead.
For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
Go ahead.
This verse 2 I want.
Go ahead.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Every what?
Of every clean beast.
Every what?
Of every clean beast.
Of every what?
Of every clean beast.
Of every clean beast. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's always been laws. Before Moses,
Right.
it was always laws. And there's even laws after Christ. Christ did not die with the laws, and the laws is done away with. There's still laws today. You should only eat of the clean beast. You should only do what the Lord tells you to do.
Right.
Okay? He said of every clean beast, go ahead.
Come. Thou shalt take to thee by sevens the male and his female,
Go ahead.
and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female.
Go ahead.
Verse 3.
No, don't stop. Don't go to verse 3. I'm going to end it right here.
Come on.
But the Lord was telling Noah to bring all two of every animal onto the ark, whether they were clean or unclean, right?
Come.
But he also told him to separate the clean from the unclean.
Come.
We need to know how to do that.
Right.
And the only way to know how to do that is to come into class, man. Because in the Christian church, they preparing pork right now. Matter of fact, the Christian church closed. Salaki.
Right.
They closed. They scared of the coronavirus. You know what I mean? Most high Christ. They scared of the coronavirus, so now we don't got to celebrate Easter this year.
Right.
Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, we see what the Most High is doing to those who want to open them churches.
Right. They want to open up so bad. They itching to serve Easter. They itching to serve that bunny that don't lay eggs.
Right.
Itching to got that. They itching to get that pork and communion and see all the women in there with their skirts, and you understand the pastor want to pick up your wife. He want to get back. He got to. He can't have sex with nobody's wife at his mansion. He can't pick nobody's wife at his mansion. He got to open the church back up so he can get somebody's wife, so he can molest somebody's child.
Right.
But thank the Most High for the coronavirus.
Damn right.
Because the Christian church is out of service right now. You understand? Out of service. But believe this, you understand? That these churches are not teaching the truth. And because of that, we don't know that the laws are not done away with and what all of these laws are, who we are as a people, and what the Lord requires of us as a nation, man.
Right.
You got anything else you want to say?
Lie, sir.
All right. With that, I'm passing the class over to preaching officer Bon Corral.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a sister or brother. So, to speak to a sister or a brother. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Taos, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi 3, verse 3, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department of teaching. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. It'll be the Passover. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, or headband, or scarf. And with that, shalom.